September 1, 1859. Telegraph operators across America reported something impossible. Their machines were sending messages without being plugged in. Sparks flew, papers caught fire. The sky burned green and crimson from Cuba to Hawaii. The sun had just fired its most powerful weapon, and it hit us directly. That event is known as the Carrington Event, the most powerful solar storm in recorded history. Now, here is the question that keeps NASA scientists awake at night. What happens when it happens again? Because it will happen again. In July 2012, a solar storm of equivalent magnitude erupted from the sun. NOAA modelers estimated it would have caused between $600 billion and $2.6 trillion in damage to the United States alone. Power grids offline for months, satellites blind, GPS gone. Modern civilization essentially paused. It missed Earth by 9 days. 9 days. But here is what most people do not know. Since 2012, solar activity has been rising. We are currently inside solar cycle 25, and NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center confirmed in 2024 that this cycle is tracking significantly stronger than forecast. The sun is waking up, and we are more connected, more dependent, more vulnerable than we have ever been. If you want to understand the world you actually live in, this is the channel that tells you the truth. Subscribe to the Doomsday Archive, because knowing what is coming is the first step to surviving it. And in the story you're about to hear, timing is everything.
So what exactly is a solar storm? And why does it threaten to erase the modern world? The sun is not just a ball of fire. It is a churning magnetic engine, constantly building tension across its surface. When that tension snaps, it releases a coronal mass ejection, a CME, a billion-ton cloud of magnetized plasma traveling at up to 3,000 kilometers per second. Think about that for a second. 3,000 kilometers per second. That cloud does not burn cities. It does something far more precise. When it reaches Earth, its magnetic field slams into ours. The collision induces massive electrical currents in anything that conducts electricity. Power lines, pipeline networks, undersea cables, the transformers that sit at the heart of every electrical grid on the planet. And here is the critical detail. Those transformers are not off-the-shelf items. A single high-voltage transformer can weigh 300 tons. Lead time to manufacture one? 12 to 18 months. There are roughly 2,000 of them across North America. Spare inventory? Near zero. A Carrington-level event would not just cut your power, it would destroy the infrastructure needed to restore it. But here's what they're not telling you publicly. The vulnerability gap is widening, not shrinking. As of 2024, the American Civil Engineers Society rated the U.S. power grid a C-. Meanwhile, the number of grid-connected devices, phones, sensors, smart meters, has increased by over 400% in the last decade. Every new connection is a new antenna for a solar storm to exploit. We built a civilization on electricity, then we wired every inch of it to the sky. And in 2024, something in the sun changed.
Let us walk through it, not as theory, as timeline. Tuesday morning, 6:47 a.m. NOAA's Deep Space Climate Observatory detects a massive CME inbound. Scientists confirm it is X-class, extreme category. Impact window, 15 to 18 hours. The alerts go out. but most people are asleep. Some see notifications, most do not. You are in Chicago. 72 hours of food in your kitchen. Your car has half a tank. Your phone is at 60% battery. Think about that for a second. Is that enough? By hour 1, grid operators begin emergency load shedding, rotating blackouts to protect transformers. But the storm arrives faster than modeled. The induced currents overwhelm safeguards. At 6:59 a.m. Central Time, a cascade begins. Within 11 minutes, 2/3 of North America loses power. Not for hours, the models say weeks, possibly months. By hour 6, water treatment plants fail. Municipal water pressure drops. Hospitals switch to backup generators, which carry fuel for 72 hours on average. ATMs go dark. Gas pumps stop working. Cellular towers running on battery backup begin going silent one by one. By hour 24, the supply chain fractures. Refrigeration fails. Grocery distribution halts. The Federal Emergency Management Agency estimates that roughly 60% of Americans have less than 3 days of food at home at any given time. 60%. What would you do on day 4? But the impact does not stop at your door. Satellites in low Earth orbit, GPS, weather, communications experience catastrophic electronics damage. Aviation systems fail. Financial markets running on atomic clock synchronization cannot process transactions. We do not just lose light, we lose the architecture of modern civilization. If this conversation is changing how you think, you are in the right place. Subscribe to the Doomsday Archive, the predictions that matter, because the next part is where it gets darker. So, what is being done? More than most people realize, less than the problem demands. In 2016, the Obama administration signed an executive order on space weather events, directing federal agencies to develop coordinated response frameworks. In 2019, the Trump administration released a National Space Weather Strategy and Action Plan. In 2024, NOAA's Solar Weather Prediction Center received additional funding to improve forecasting lead time. Current early warning capability, 15 to 60 minutes before impact. That is the window between detection and grid strike, 15 to 60 minutes. FEMA has pre-positioned emergency supplies in 8 regional distribution centers. The Department of Energy has accelerated a program to stockpile critical grid components, including spare transformers. Some utilities have installed geomagnetically induced current blockers on key transformer lines. Progress? Yes. Adequate? NERC's own 2023 assessment says no. Here is what they are not telling you loudly enough. As of 2024, fewer than 15% of U.S. high-voltage transformers have GIC protection installed. The Critical Infrastructure Hardening Program is funded at roughly $400 million annually. The estimated cost of a full Carrington-level event? $2.6 trillion in the first year alone. Days, not months. Days is what we have to respond. Tested? Partially. Ready? Not completely. But here's the part that matters for you personally. Individual preparation for a severe grid outage follows the same logic as any major disaster. 72 hours minimum of food and water, manual tools and cash, battery banks and hand crank radios, a plan to reconnect with family without cellular infrastructure. None of this is exotic survivalism. It is what FEMA actually recommends. It is reasonable, it is achievable, and for most people, it is not done. The gap between government preparation and individual preparation is where the real risk lives. And in Solar Cycle 25, that gap is closing faster than the hardening programs.
So what are the odds? NOAA and independent researchers estimate the probability of a Carrington-level event at roughly 12% per decade. That sounds manageable, until you do the math over a lifetime. Over 50 years, the cumulative probability of experiencing a major solar superstorm crosses 50%. A coin flip over your lifetime. That is not science fiction, that is solar physics. And here is the final piece. The Carrington Event of 1859 left no lasting civilizational damage because in 1859, civilization did not run on electricity. There were no transformers to fry, no satellites to blind, no financial systems synchronized to atomic clocks. We built the vulnerability. The sun just provides the test. The question is not whether a Carrington-level storm will occur. The scientific consensus is that it is inevitable on a long enough timeline. The question is whether it occurs in a decade when we have hardened our infrastructure or before we finish the work. Solar Cycle 25 peaks in 2025 and 2026. The window of elevated risk is not decades away, it is now. What we do in the next few years, in policy, in preparation, in infrastructure investment, will determine whether a Carrington Event 2.0 is a costly disruption or a generational catastrophe. The sun does not negotiate. It does not care about budget cycles or election calendars. It operates on its own timeline. The only variable we control is how ready we are when it arrives. This is the Doomsday Archive. If this changed how you see the world, subscribe, share this with someone who needs to hear it, because tomorrow is coming. The question is, will you be ready?